So by the way, as far as that goes, when I eat, for me, I my main goal is to try to get 50 grams of protein, and
Okay.
and I try to get zero sugar.
Now, Rob, is that a day? 50 grams of
No, that's
protein
per intake.
per intake. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
So for instance, if I have sugar-free protein, or once in a while it might have 1 gram of which makes a big difference in the flavor. But I go for zero. But I do eat grapes and bananas, and the fruit has
Natural sugar.
sugar in it, which depending on how picky you want to be, it is still sugar. And then some things that I get, like I'll eat peanut butter that might have 2 grams of sugar, and to get the 8 grams of protein in it in a scoop. But so for me, it's 50 grams per intake, and I try to do that 6 times a day. Sometimes I get in 7, and that can be protein for me. Like the protein I'm talking about, I dry scoop it. You know what I mean? I take it and then I put the water in my mouth, gulp, and it's 25 grams of protein per scoop. So 2 scoops is what? Boom, that's a meal. Two
Yeah.
scoops of protein, see you in a few hours. And I alternate, and then next time I'll eat food, you know? And when I eat the food, I'm trying to get as close to 50 grams as I can. Sometimes, if you eat I don't know, you might grab a chicken breast sandwich and boom, it's only got 35 grams. Well, sometimes it is what it is. But if I'm home and have the option, then I might go ahead and take a spoonful or two of some Greek yogurt, and then boom, okay, now I made it, or something like that. But I don't care about fat. I don't eat a lot of fat,
Yeah.
but it's not something that I even look at anymore. I used to a long time ago when I first started looking at the labels and stuff, but now I look at the protein and I look at the sugar.
Do you look at calories at all?
No,
No.
I have no idea how many calories I get.
Okay. Okay. So you do it 6 times a day, you say? Like you try
Yeah,
to
so then there's 300 grams of protein. So
protein.
I'll get up and I'll usually, I'm still fasting when I get up for a couple hours. I'll start drinking coffee, smoke a couple dupes, whatever,
Yeah.
and then I might break my fast with protein powder, or what I usually use is Kachava, which is like a meal replacement protein powder. The bad thing about that is that 2 scoops of that only has 25 grams of protein. That's the only drawback, but it tastes great, and it's loaded with all kinds of other stuff. It does have some sugar in it, but that's because it has all these acai berries and all these fruits and all these what do you call it? It's got a lot of good stuff in it anyway, and it's a whole meal replacement. It's called Kachava. The ads sold it on me, and I get like 4 bags a month of it sent to me because I eat it. A lot of times I'll eat 3 or 4 scoops because I want the 50 grams of protein, and sometimes I say, well, I got 20. I'll make them really big. I got like 30 grams. That's going to be okay, and then I'll eat in a couple hours or something. So that's how I usually wake up. If I don't have to be anywhere, I'll wait a couple hours, drink some coffee, and then I'll take a few scoops of Kachava, and then a couple hours after that, then I'll eat some actual food, and then boom, guess what? If I have protein and then lunch, and then protein and then dinner, I've done it 6 times. I might get another protein in before I go to bed. Then I got 350 grams of protein, and for me, that's like winning. You know what I mean? Is between 3. I try to get at least 3. If I get 350, then it's been a really good protein intake for me, and especially like when I'm working out, then I try to get more. If I'm didn't work out today because I just flew in from New York City and I'm tired or whatever, I don't give myself a hard time on the eating as much. I'll be like, yeah, I don't need it. I didn't burn it.
Well, how about when you're on the road? How do you adjust your diet when you're like flying and you're traveling and doing all this other shit that you're not necessarily that stuff not's like immediate to you and you don't have
Right. Well, like yesterday, I brought my Kachava. You know, I always bring protein with me, protein
Uh-huh.
powder and protein bars. You know, the protein bars that I eat are sugar free and they got 20 grams of protein in it. So sometimes I'll eat two of those. That's a whole meal, 40
Yeah.
grams, close enough, you know. And that's usually pretty convenient. At this signing we were at in Queens, there's no room. It's so tight. There's not even room for us and the fans in there. And then this guy that's got a restaurant brings us all this food, you know, yeah, chicken parmesan and spaghetti,
Hey,
you
have
know,
some of this.
yeah, we were walking down the block looking for something, and Katie and I ended up putting our food right there on the sidewalk. We put our food on like the top, like a ledge on someone's wall of their yard, and stood there like it was at a bar, and we're eating. And I was like, man, she is such a down bitch. I think I love her a little more for that. So I was like, man, that's cool. You don't mind. She said, hey, you know, in the business, you got sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Heck
damn.
yeah, find somebody that'll eat on a ledge with you.
Yeah, yeah. She's looking all fine with her, you know, tight dress, all done up for her for the signing. And then we're standing on the sidewalk with our styrofoam lunches on the bottom of the fence, you know, on somebody's wall on a uphill yard, and you know, people are walking by like, hey, yeah,
Hey, what's happening? Hey.
yeah.
Oh, nothing like that, huh?